Hi guys, and welcome to my Christmas kitchen. Today I've got another two recipes to show you. These are for a low protein main course that you can do for Christmas. But again, these are not just for Christmas. You can do these all year round. Start off with our mushroom plat. What I've got is 35 grams of dried mushrooms. When you see them, they look like little pieces of wooden bark. What you do is pop them into a jug and then pour boiling water over them. Leave them for about 10-15 minutes, and then you'll see they'll all be plumped up and turned to look like that. We then just need to finely slice them. So go over with a sharp knife. Cut them into really small pieces, which is better for our stuffing. So there we've got that. Let me just wipe my hands. In my pan, I've got 150 grams of grated mushrooms, and I've got 50 grams of finely sliced onion. I've fried that in 25 grams of olive oil, and then I've cooked that until it's really, really soft, but that all the liquid has been evaporated. And that's crucial to this because we don't want to add too much liquid into the pastry when it's done. So that's our stuffing cooked, but I've allowed that to go cool because again, we can't put that onto the pastry when it's hot. So into that, I'm going to add in our dried mushrooms, which we've just chopped. And then I'm going to add a teaspoon of garlic puree, but you can grate in some fresh garlic. I've got a teaspoon of dried sage. That's going to sprinkle in. And then two other ingredients. I've got the zest of a lemon. This really kind of adds lots of zing into this stuffing, and mushrooms and lemons work really well. So just zest away. Just the zest, not the white, because that's a little bit bitter. So that goes in. And then what I've got is some nutmeg. I'm going to use fresh nutmeg because it does taste a lot better, but I'm going to add about a quarter of a nutmeg. If you were going to use ground nutmeg, just use about a quarter of a teaspoon in there. But fresh nutmeg is so much nicer, and it works really well with the mushrooms in the stuffing. So that's that. I'm going to give that a good stir just to combine everything. And then I've got some low protein cracker. I've just crushed them up into crumbs. And again, that's going to help us absorb some of the excess liquid. Again, stir them through. And there we've got our stuffing made. Pop that to one side. We're going to keep the liquid from our dried mushrooms because we're going to make a sauce with that in a minute. So I've then got on my lined baking tray, I've got a sheet of gluten-free puff pastry. And what I'm going to do is just with the back of the knife, I'm going to score it so it's into thirds. So it then, you've got three sections. What we're then going to do is take our stuffing and pop it down the middle third. Spread that out. And then in the pan, I'm just going to leave about a tablespoonful of the stuffing mixture, which is going to make our sauce. So I'm going to keep that, and we'll make our sauce in a bit. So spread that out evenly. Let me just have a little wipe. And then I've got two large field mushrooms. These are really, really big, but you kind of want them to fit directly into the section down the middle. If you need to trim the sides off, do that one, but I think these are fine. So place them upwards so the inside is facing you. We're then gonna add some salt and some freshly ground pepper. And then I've got 50 grams of low protein cheese, and I'm using mozzarella. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put half into each of the mushroom case, press that in. Then what we need to do is we're going to fold the pastry then over. So on the 2/3 that are not covered, what we're going to do is we're going to slice down into about 3/4 of an inch thick. And you're going to do this on both sides. So let's turn it round. And then each, we're going to plait down the mushrooms. So take the first piece of pastry and place it over. And then the second one is going to go over as a crisscross. So then again, we're going to take our next one and we're going to go down and crisscross. And then we're going to cover all of the mushrooms. Keep crisscrossing. And then the last two, we're just going to go back up again. So that's then all covered. So there you've got your plait all done. Really simple, really easy. And then got some snow pro, which I'm then just going to brush all over the pastry. So we kind of get a nice golden glaze. The best thing to do with this is pop it back in the fridge, because puff pastry is better baked when it's really, really cold, because the butter in there will set up, and then when it hits the heat of the oven, it will become nice and puffy. I'm just going to, again, just for some flavour and the look, sprinkle some black pepper over, and again, just a little bit of rock salt over the top. So chill that. You can freeze it at this stage and then bake it again Christmas Day if you want to, but you can freeze it already baked. So I think that's easier to do. So I'm going to pop that in the fridge for 20 minutes to chill, and then it goes into a 190 oven, and it'll take about 35-40 minutes. Just look at the oven. You might need to just turn it around halfway so it just glazes properly all over. So let's pop that to one side, and we can put that in the oven. And then our next one is a filo parcel. It's kind of Greek inspired. So under my board here, I've got 2 sheets of filo pastry, which I'm keeping moist under some dampened kitchen roll. It's quite fiddly to work with, but once you kind of get going, it's easy. I found a really good brand, and this is kind of low in protein. Some can be quite high. I've got 25 grams of melted butter. So I'm going to take the first sheet of filo off and just pop that on the table. And then I'm going to brush liberally the first sheet with our melted butter. Again, you can kind of melt it and leave it just to come to room temperature. You don't want it to be too hot. So all over with the melted butter and a pastry brush. And then again, I've got 35 grams of low protein cracker crumbs. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle them between the sheets. This keeps the pie nice and crunchy and adds lots of texture in there. So there's our cracker crumbs on, and then I'm going to place over the top sheet. So that sits on top, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush this one with melted butter as well. Again, just splodge it on. You need to be kind of quite liberal with filo because it doesn't have any fat in, so that's why it becomes quite delicate. What we do need, just to reserve a little bit of the butter, because we're going to brush that on top of our roll when it's done. So for the filling, I've got 100 grams of frozen spinach, which I've defrosted. I've then squeezed out all the water with my hands, and then what you need to do, I just use kitchen scissors, but just chop that up into small pieces like so. And then to that, I've got some low protein Greek style cheese. So again, I've got 50 grams of this, and this crumbles really nice. And this is kind of, it is a Greek pie. Normally they would add eggs to this, but I've just taken them out and thinks it works really well without the eggs. So crumble in our cheese, and then just with our fingers, we're going to just give that a little bit of a mash together. Will come together like a stuffing. This is great just for pasties as a filling. You can make low protein bread and use this in there. You can use these instead of the mix I do for the veggie rolls. I don't know if you've seen the party video, but you'll see the veg rolls. This filling can be used as that. To that, I'm going to add some mixed herbs just to add some flavour in, and I'm also going to add a teaspoon again of garlic puree. Let's get a little fork and we can just mash all them together. We need to season, salt, and again some cracked black pepper. Give that a little mix. Get really easy with the pastry is frozen, the spinach is frozen. There's not a lot of cooking, there's just some baking. So again, quite quick and easy for Christmas Day. I'm going to take the stuffing and I'm going to pop that along the shorter edge of the pastry. Let's get all that cheese in. And then simply, we're just going to roll this up like a Swiss roll. Do it quite tight. And again, you've got your roll. So I bake it in the roll, and then you can slice portions off and serve it. It's great cut into smaller discs, and again, you can use this on a buffet or a party table. It's great for lunch boxes because it stays nice and crunchy. Again, just with the rest of that butter that we've got, mine's slightly drying up a little bit, but we can still spread it. Spread the butter over, place on a baking sheet and bake at 170, and it'll take about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. It'll become nice and golden. It'll become really crunchy. So let me pop all of them in the oven for you. You can see what they look like, and then we can come back and we can make our sauce. Hi guys, so we've got our mushroom plat out the oven and we've got our spinach roll. Let's make the sauce and then we can have a look at these. So in the pan, remember, we've got about a tablespoonful of the stuffing mixture. So I'm just going to put that over a high heat just to warm that pan back up. We've got seasoning in there as well. And to that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in our soaking liquid that we had from our dried mushrooms. So that all goes in, and then what we need to do is just With the back of the spoon, just scrape all of the stuffing that was on the pan and bring that up to temperature. It'll heat quite quick in a big pan. Again, you can make this sauce ahead of time, and then again, you can pop it into the freezer. So that's warming up. So I've got a tablespoonful of chopped parsley, but you can add some dried herbs to this. You can add some basil. You can do whatever you want to do. So in goes my chopped parsley. And then to that, I've got a tablespoonful of low protein cream cheese, which I'm going to melt into the mushroom liquid. Give that a little stir. Again, these go really well just with gravy, or you can do my low protein bread sauce. The spinach roll goes really great with the spice bread sauce. I think that's on the roasted cauliflower video. So you can have a look for that. Again, this great with cranberry relish as well. So you don't need to do the sauce. You've got some other options for Christmas Day. So that's all bubbling away, and the low protein cream cheese is just melting into the sauce. Again, and then I've got a tablespoonful of vegan double cream, because this will help thicken the sauce up as well. So I'm going to pour that in. Again, if you don't want to use the vegan cream, you can always add some snow crown. And then let's have a little taste, see if we need some more seasoning. Just a little bit more salt. And then I'm going to add in, again, some more black pepper. That's bubbling away. You just need to boil that just for about a minute. And the vegan cream will just slightly thicken it up. It's not a thick sauce, but because we've got all the flavours in the mushroom plat, again, it works really nice. With that, I've got a little pot. Let me see if I can pour that into there. So there you've got your 2 low protein Christmas dinner ideas. We've got our mushroom and cheese plat made with our gluten-free puff pastry. Again, really crunchy, crispy. Cool this, slice it, you can pop it in the freezer and then bring it out and reheat it whenever you need to. And then you've got your spinach, again, really crunchy and crispy. Slice that, you can use it cold on a buffet, or you can warm that back up again, freeze it, take it out, pop it in the oven on Christmas Day. And then you've got your mushroom sauce, which was made from the leftover of the stuffing. We've got our soaking liquid from our dried mushrooms. We've got some low protein cream cheese, and then our vegan cream just to finish it off. Again, great poured over. These are great if you've got any vegans or vegetarians coming for Christmas dinner, or any time at a party. So enjoy these 2. If you need any other recipes, they're on Low Protein Connect. And I'll see you next time back in the Christmas kitchen. See you later. Bye.